When we start drawing in SketchUp, there are many times when we'll need to be exactly aligned with an axis. And we can do that in SketchUp using what are called standard views. Now, these align the camera exactly the way that we want. So, if we go into camera, you'll see we have standard views. And we have a number of views here: top, bottom, front, back, left, right, and so on. So, if I were to select one of these, such as top view, it will exactly align my camera along that axis. So if I were to say, for example, select a right view, you'll see that again, I'm looking at this straight on from the right side of the scene. Now, one thing you'll notice here is that the scene still has perspective. So if I were to draw into this, I still have to contend with the perspective of the camera. So we can change that to what most people call an orthographic view, but what SketchUp calls parallel projection. So if I change this to parallel projection, it gives me an exact right side view as if I were in a drafting or a CAD program. Now this allows me to draw very precisely along this axis. Now I can get out of this simply by orbiting out of this, but notice when I orbit out of it, the perspective is kind of wonky. So I can go ahead and change it back to the normal perspective, and again, I'll have a more normal looking scene. Now, I also have an additional way of looking at it, and that's called two-point perspective. And that's the classic perspective where you have a horizon line, and then everything is drawn according to that horizon line. And this is just kind of a drawing trick that will simulate the way that a lot of architects draw perspective. Now, the key here is that the vertical lines are vertical. They don't have that three-point perspective. So if we zoom in here, look at the vertical lines of this building here. And when I switch to perspective, notice how they change just a little bit. So that's what two-point perspective does. So if you need to draw something along a specific axis, you can use a standard view along with parallel projection in order to get the view that you want.